All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shemal, Shabbat, Shemar, Kakodash, Dabban, says the apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom to the Akim, the preaching the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, I just want to do this, lesson going into this demonic weekend. This right around the corner. Saturday in particular. You have Halloween, October 31st, which goes back to Samhain, the Celtic Druids. And it's basically a day of high witchcraft and sorcery, wizardry. And it showed, the proof is in the pudding. You got certain people that want to try to put up a debate with Halloween and try to make it seem like it's not the devil's holiday when it clearly is. Look at all the costumes. Majority of them are produce a negative vibration, man. Whether you're dressing up as the skeleton, which represents death, you're dressing up as a ghost or a goblin or a straight up demon, a werewolf. Those are the best outfits on Halloween. Vampires, and then you have different people that make sport of these things, like these Comic-Con individuals that have these different clubs, and they'll spend thousands of dollars actually on Halloween outfits. They'll put top dollar, in the production and assimilation of these different Halloween outfits so it can actually invoke the most demonic of spirits, and these individuals actually feel the recoil of that, man. You can't just wear all this demonic stuff and you think there's no backlash from that. That's why a majority of people they're hypnotized by the demons that they actually invoke on these certain days, man. That's why it's a lot of murder, during this time. It's a lot of prostitution on that day, thievery, like I said, killings, all kind of especially stealing, and it just puts the spirit, because first off, everybody's supposed to be in the house around that time. It really starts at night. You don't see people trick-or-treating in the daytime, unless you're in probably the fucking suburbs or something like that. But it usually is game at night. And then a lot of those individuals, even here, where I used to be from, they would actually put razors. I remember the stories where they'll say they'll put razors in the candy, and actually feed it to the children. So this is, Halloween is a demonic holiday, that most people follow, as well as these others, Christmas, Easter, and what's significant about this Halloween is it's the full moon, and it's a actual, if I'm not mistaken, a blue moon. But when you go into these different parasites, which a lot of Jakes is full of, Jake be full of, they eat pork, they eat shrimp, crab, lobster. A lot of people gonna eat shrimp, crab, and lobster before they go trick or treat. Raw sushi, all these different raw products, and they'll go out. But when you go into it, parasites are more active during the full moon, and full moon is actually this weekend. It says, did you know that parasites increase their movement in your body, including the reproducing around the full moon? This is due to our circadian rhythm. Right, we have a circadian rhythm which deals with our body, that acts as a clock, being affected by the full moon cycle, making our body produce more serotonin and less melatonin. Right. And you take, if I'm not mistaken, you take melatonin to actually help sleep. But I'm gonna look into the serotonin and melatonin comparison, to get more clarity on that. And it says, do parasites hatch on a full moon? We frequently see a correlation between patients with a high number of parasites carrying a greater heavy metal burden. Yeah, and a lot of jakes, they filled up with heavy metals. They got mercury that shot through the bloodstream, and that mercury doesn't leave. Esau, that's how he taints you, man. He puts all this poison within your genes, and puts this technology within you, and a lot of that stuff is gonna be used to track you too. That's why that chip is a major thing, man. And like I said, this Halloween, it's gonna be highly demonic. That's why brothers in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, you handle your business, then you get to the crib, man. Fellowship with brothers, send up prayers, send up them curses, send up them big boy curses, that we get out of here speedily, man. And even when you're dealing with this full moon, on October 31st, they're talking about going into the harvest, man. Really actually gathering in, for the I think that's the significance of the blue moon. But it says the blue moon on October 31st, 2020 would be the first full moon on Halloween in 76 years. According to information from NASA Earth and the Old Farmer's Almanac, the last time a full moon fell on Halloween was in 1944. You see, and the Lord actually does these things to be a sign of the times. Now, it's something chaotic, going to be a chaotic boom on Halloween. It's yet to say, but it's always shown that Halloween, pushes a nasty vibration. It has a very demonic aura that surrounds it, and when you go into these different blood sacrifices and child sacrifices, and all these different demonic occults, they use these days as high holy days for sacrificing. So it's going to be a lot of people sacrifice, and you see these sacrifices on the coronavirus. That was a global sacrifice, through the parasite that was possibly created by the federal government, and I'm leaning towards it being, they say allegedly all this, you got to be politically correct. But at the end of the day, we know there's elitists that work behind the scenes, man. And these different people don't know what the hell is going on. This is Acts 2:21. 19. And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come. Right, so those are what? Signs of the time, something to signify or show what times that we're living in. And the scripture says what? Measure the time diligently in itself, for when thou seest half the signs pass, know that thou shalt well understand. It's the Most High that said those things before, and basically showing that these things are at the door, man. Because we're at the door. All right. It says, it's nearer than what we believe, and we believe it's close. We believe it's extremely close. You see these prophecies unfolding and unraveling at an exponential rate. It has to be close. It has to be close. 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently, or consistently. So you should be measuring the prophecies about what's going on in everyday life. I was watching the news, listening to the news today. Boeing basically jets basically got to shut down an additional 7,000. The stock market took a hit. They're speaking about this global recession is just as bad as I think what was that World War II going into the Great Depression. They lost trillions of dollars due to this catastrophe of this coronavirus, and the only ones that actually made weight was the tech industry. The tech industry became filthy rich, So we in those times, man. 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which we already seen, the majority of these prophecies come to pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we're in the time where the Lord is going to actually return. He's going to visit it, and it's not going to be a slight one episode. When he's here, he's going to be here. All right. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of the things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And we see these uproars, we see these protests, we see these riots, we see the commotion of the people. People wanting to, arm militias, and the rattling of these prophecies, is shaking more and more. And you can't work around it. We clearly see it.
I was watching the show Utopia. They're going into the prophecy that most people can't see. That's going into the Holy Bible, man. This is the word, all right? The scriptures speak about, the Lord said that I am the way, the truth, and the life, and basically walk in it. So we should be walking in this because we see what's going on. Like I said, this October, is another sign of the times. But that's a topic for another lesson. You can go into Exodus 22 and 18. Suffer not a witch to live. It's all kind of witches and warlocks. They're gonna be on all kind of drugs, dealing with pharmakeia, which is those spell giving potions, and they're gonna be on the spell night, practicing wizardry. See, they have the forefront with the kids, picking candy, but it's real big boy left hand side productions. That's why it also tells you in Ephesians the 6th chapter, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers, man. So I just want to go into that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, man, and by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah, by Shema Kakodash, double honor to the apostle and elders of great millstone. Shalom, Martin.